Hey, it's Chris, and welcome to episode number 2 of Choosing the Best. And in this episode, I'm on a mission to find the best gaming laptop. Well, technically, probably not the best gaming laptop in the world, but the best gaming laptop for most people. That's kind of the key phrase. So what does that mean? That probably means being able to play most modern games on ultra settings and being able to handle VR too. In the last episode, you guys watched me pick out what I thought was the best Ultrabook. So you probably know how this works by now. I'm gonna start by picking out 5 top contenders, trying to narrow that down to 2 finalists, and then from there, picking an ultimate winner. I got some comments last time. People were really interested in this particular episode because they didn't need an Ultrabook. They're headed off to college and they want a new gaming laptop. And if that's you, this is your lucky day because I'm gonna do 95% of the hard research for you, and all you're gonna have to do is pick your favorite. So my plan this time, it's the same plan that I had last time, is to start by looking at what all the credible sources out there have to say, and the first thing that I need to do is figure out a price range and a minimum set of specs, because otherwise, this could get really out of hand really fast, I can already tell. So for today, what I'm really after is something primarily that has a great graphics card, AKA the GPU, a great processor, AKA CPU, and probably something with good heat management, memory, which is RAM, and storage. Those are the main things that I'm after. Secondarily, I think I'm looking for something with good noise management and a good keyboard and display. I think those are the core things that are really gonna matter in today's decision. On the graphics side of things, looking at the GTX series, obviously gonna stay away from the 1060s, probably gonna hover in the 1070s. I doubt we'll get up into the 1080s. Minimum playable frame rate I'm looking at is 30 FPS. For the processor, it has to be Skylake or Kaby Lake, the Core i7s. Skylake, probably fine for most things, that's the older generation. Kaby Lake, gonna be more expensive, but you get a 10% or so boost in performance. So I don't know, is it gonna be worth it? It's just gonna come down to the price. On the RAM side of things, my minimum spec is 16 gigs. That's gonna be good for gaming and multitasking. I think 32 gigs at this price point, which I'm gonna get to in a second, is probably gonna be a waste of money. Also looking for a 256 GB SSD and a 1 terabyte hard drive. And now we get to the price range, and I'm really trying to keep things around $2,000 or so, maybe a little more or less, but you can really spend through the roof customizing and upgrading, but the key word here is the best gaming laptop for most people. Not the best gaming laptop, period, but for most people. So definitely staying away from the budget end, but also not going up to the very top end either. So if I can find a 4K screen in this price range, I'll be really happy, but right now I'm pretty skeptical. I think it's gonna be really interesting today to see if there's a bigger, well-known company like Alienware or MSI or Asus or Razer or whoever that can take the crown, or if I'm looking at more of a smaller shop like Origin or Digital Storm, iBuyPower, or whoever else. Either way, time to research. I definitely didn't expect this to be easy, but there's not like clear standouts just across the board. I think the closest thing to standout potential right now is probably the Acer Predator 17, maybe the Asus ROG G752 VS. Those both seem to be pretty well liked. Another thing that's piquing my interest though is the MSI GT72 VR Dominator Pro. A lot of people are calling that kind of like a splurge. Definitely seeing some other options from Razer, Alienware, HP, Dell, Lenovo, but nothing's just screaming out at me in this price range quite yet. After lots of deliberation, I think I've finally got a top 5. Are you ready? I mentioned a few that had some standout potential, and I think I am gonna add those to my list. The Acer Predator 17, the Asus ROG G752 VS, and the MSI GT72 VR Dominator Pro, the Splurge. To round things out though, I'm gonna also choose the Origin PC Eon 17-X and the Alienware 15. Oh, you know what? Actually, I lied. I'm gonna replace the Origin with the HP Omen. So there's a little bit of a plot twist for you. That is just gonna come down to price, and you'll see why in just a little bit. Okay, so now it's time to get to know each of these machines just a little bit better. Shall we? So the Predator 17 has a unique swappable fan, which is the Predator Frost Core, which supposedly helps keep things cool even during intense gaming sessions. It also features programmable keys, 4 speakers, 2 subwoofers, apparently good sound, and a feature aimed at reducing lag called Killer Double Shot Pro. For the GTX 1070 model, the price comes in at $1999.99, which is perfect. That's right on target. And yes, it is overclockable. The Asus ROG G752 retails for $2,500, which is pricey considering the price range of $2,000. It comes with Windows 10 Pro, in case that matters to you, has a 3D vapor chamber, and a really interesting anti-ghosting keyboard, which can correctly interpret up to 30 simultaneous key presses. It comes factory overclocked, and it comes with a lifetime XSplit Gamecaster account, which works with a dedicated streaming button. For some reason, Asus doesn't want me to buy this laptop because the buy button doesn't work, so you're gonna have to find this elsewhere. The MSI GT72 VR has a 17-inch wide view angle screen, features Color Boost Titan thermal solution, not that Titan, this is a different Titan, and comes with a SteelSeries keyboard, Dyne audio speakers and subwoofer, virtual surround sound, USB-C support that can handle dual 4K monitors, and yes, the 1070. The True Color technology, that's a nice addition, as are the Killer Double Shot Pro and Shield, plus the price is right on target. The Alienware 15 gives me all the specs I'm looking for $2249.99. A few things that stand out here are battery life that's actually respectable, a port layout that puts most of the important things in the back and kind of out of the way, a keyboard with only 2.2 millimeters of travel for rapid keystrokes, Alien Effects customizable lighting zones, and a nice and large speaker box. And last but not least is the HP Omen 17, which hits all the specs for $1899.99. That's impressive in and of itself, but you also get a 4K display here, and now you can see why I stuck it in here instead of the Origin for the price. That's just awesome. Other than that, there's really nothing fancy about this laptop. It kind of hits the basics and then gives you a better display for a better price. Without all the extras, I guess it's kind of more like a regular laptop, and maybe that's a feature to some people. I don't know. All right, so yeah, for $2,000, give or take, these are all pretty good options. And in case you like one better than another already right now, before we go any further, I'll have all the links for those down in the description. So this is the tough part of the video, where I'm actually gonna have to start making some eliminations, and somebody's gotta go first, and unfortunately, I think it's gotta be the Omen. You know what? The price and the screen, those are awesome. They're amazing, actually. Those are great. But I think that gamers are ultimately, in this price range, looking for a little bit more, and I think it just isn't enough to stay in contention. So, see you later, Omen. I think the next thing to go is gonna have to be the Alienware. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with it, but all the reviews and all the information out there seems to be telling me that it's just not the best at anything, and we're kind of after the best for most people in this category. So that's it for the Alienware. See you later. So those two actually I think were relatively easy to eliminate, but the Predator, the ROG, and the MSI, those are all actually pretty fierce competitors. I think right now it's probably just gonna start coming down to the price. And since we're shooting for around 2,000, that's gonna put the Asus ROG way over the top. So I think that that is out. Actually, that wasn't too hard at all. So now we're down to 2. So, Dominator Pro or Predator, which one of those sounds fiercer to you? I'm actually finding that there's a lot more information out there on the Predator. It's been reviewed all over the place, and I think the MSI has just gotten less press. Right now, I kind of feel like the Predator is like the easy choice or the obvious choice. It's been recommended the most, but all that really makes me want to do is dig in deeper and get to know the finer points of both machines and kind of see who has the edge. Well, the Predator definitely seems to be known for keeping its WASD zone, underside, and components cool, but it also has really loud fans. I will say the keyboard is not my favorite on the Predator, but it does have a 2-year warranty and a bright, accurate IPS display. Some people don't like the IPS because they think it lags, but you know what? You're probably not a pro gamer if you're looking for a $2,000 gaming machine, so we're gonna stick with the IPS. IPS is cool with me because I like those colors. Everyone says directly that the speakers are better than those on the MSIs. It's looking like the Dominator also has a warmer WASD zone, but there's no question, I think the MSI looks better, don't you? I think it looks more polished all the way around. I really think the SteelSeries keyboard is a bonus too. That's pretty cool. I think I've seen enough. I'm ready to make a call. I'm not in love with this decision by any means, but it had to be done. So I think I'm gonna go with the Predator. I had to do it. As similar as these two laptops are, I think at the end of the day, if you are gonna be doing a lot of gaming, you want something that's gonna stay cooler. And so for me, that's what it really is gonna come down to, the coolness, the thermal management. There it is. So I'd love to know if you think that I made the right decision, and if not, why? So leave me your comment. Everyone's gonna be commenting. Be nice down there. No reason for profanity or making people feel bad. Just spell out your case, but be nice about it. If you're super bored right now and you want something else to do, why not go check out the episode that we did last week on Ultrabooks? That was pretty fun too. And don't forget, all these are linked up down in the description. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. I'm at Daily Tech, spelled Daily T-E-K-K, in all of those places. And I'll catch you in the next video.